Back to the Future Telltale Review. Back to the Future is sort of an interesting franchise. The first movie came out in 1985 and starred Michael J. Fox as Marty McFly, a teenager with flaws, such as not wanting to become bored in the 80s during the Reagan period. This parallels with him and his dad, as noted by the critics in the 1950s. In the 50s, the teenager became a classification of age group after the destruction of the draft post-World War II, after war stopped in the propaganda fight versus Russia. McFly works as a sort of intern for a scientist known as Doc Brown, who ends up sending Marty back in time. The trilogy seems to have polarized audiences, although there's not heavily hostile negative reactions involved. The second film puts him 30 years in the future opposed to the past, and then the third film puts him 100 years in the past. There's a lot of hype for this game. Most if I recall, not really. There seems to be a media bias pro Telltale. There's no talk of Strong Bad or Wallace and Gromit, but for some reason, Back to the Future had a lot of hype. Angry Joe praised the game like crazy. AVGN did an interview with AJ Lacasio, who did the voice of Martin McFly, because Michael J. Fox couldn't do it. Maybe it's because of the time period that there hasn't been a lot of Back to the Future merchandise or works since the 1990s. There was no talk about Christopher Lloyd's involvement in exciting internet fans. Heck, I don't really know who thinks much of his work outside Back to the Future, including that of One Who Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, Clue, Dennis the Menace, Star Trek, although Star Trek fans might recall a lot better. Jurassic Park was pretty much forgotten, even though it should be condemned for awful dialogue and plotting. However, since then, I felt like there have been very great pros for the company. The company has really organized itself into a really good corporation with steady amount of work. Instead of being video game big like Madden or Mario, they're more Rooster Teeth like with entertainment, visual novels, but instead with drama instead of comedy. It's really weird that Back to the Future was praised compared to the Strong Bad and Wallace and Gromit. So I'll use the same mist-like walking system. This was before Telltale had broken down and had the critical success of Walking Dead. Telltale had one game of the year with Walking Dead and its many paths and situations where characters can die. Going back to this game, begin in a scene reminiscent of the 1985 classic. Then the premise of the game begins. Someone is missing. What happened? The principal's sister, even though the principal isn't referenced in the game. Time travel incorporation. Wait a minute, go back. The principal's sister? What? This is really stellar writing here, guys. And okay, I get it. The original premise of Back to the Future Part 2. And thank goodness for Robert Zemeckis telling Bob Gale that he's absolutely nuts. Spoiler though, we go from Marty's young father to Marty's young grandfather. And like the 1950s homages to Reagan, Back to the Future, the game references the beginning of the film industry, such as that of the James Cagney films, among other things. Around episode 3, we make references to 1970s films, the dark new Hollywood style, with cheesy humor incorporated, which I felt meshed well. There are references to even Lloyd's works in One Who Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest and A Clockwork Orange. The middle episodes are the one I actually recommend higher than the beginning and end. The end horribly disappoints and is awfully lazy, as was their version of the Enchantment Under the Sea dance. And again with detective games, it was not done in full Shenmue where the choices were very clearly thought out processes and user friendly. Some of the choices seem mistranslated, even though it's a US game. They get what you expect from a team that created Endless Strickland. I thought that was a good idea. Escapists hated this game after the first episode. Those are my thoughts on Back to the Future, the Telltale game. Also, although the original voice actor does very well, the voice Biff Tannen, I would highly recommend the newer version for the 30th anniversary or whatever it is, because it has the original Biff Tannen, Thomas F. Wilson's voice incorporated in it, and it should be hilarious, even though I haven't played it yet.